Hi, I'm Zana from the Mozilla Global Sprint team. In this video, I'll show you how to find a project to work on at the Global Sprint and how to use the collaboration platform Github to communicate with the project lead and other contributors about the work you do together at the Global Sprint. If you've never used GitHub before, don't worry. This is going to be really easy. We're going to use a simple GitHub feature called GitHub Issues. If you've ever used an online forum, commented on a social media post or a blog, using GitHub Issues will be really easy. So first, you'll need a GitHub account, which you can sign up for at github.com. GitHub was designed for software developers, but it can also be used to manage and collaborate on lots of other kinds of projects. Design projects, creating curriculum, planning events, and lots more. What's so great about GitHub is it allows you to do all this in the open and share your work. It's free and easy, and we can just click here in the top right-hand corner to sign up. So you'll need to provide your username, an email address, a password, and click to create an account. You need a free account. All you need is a free account, really, and choose the simplest, most basic plan possible. So once you've signed up for GitHub, let's head back over to the Global Sprint page and look at the projects that we can contribute to. So here we are on the Global Sprint page, and I want you to click on this Projects tab here on the left. And you can see we have lots of featured projects listed here. And we also have a list of all the projects registered for the sprint on GitHub. So I'm going to click on that link. And we're leaving the Global Sprint site, and now here we are in Mozilla's Global Sprint GitHub repository. A GitHub repository is a collection of documents, code, content, conversations about a project. And in this particular case, most of our work for the Global Sprint is in the Issues tab, and each issue represents a project that you can work on during the Global Sprint. There's tons of projects here. You can see we have multiple pages. Right now we have 54 open issues, and those are projects that are available to work on. And if we want to, we can use this labels drop-down menu kind of in the center of the page. And we can select and filter the project by our particular interests. So I'm pretty interested in privacy and security these days. And so I've added a filter, and I can see all the projects that are related to privacy and security. So I'm going to select this Cryptomancer challenge. That sounds intriguing. I'm going to click on the issue to view more details about this available chunk of work to do at Sprint. So here I am in the Cryptomancer Challenge issue number 58, and I can see that the project contact is Chad Sansing, and there's a little picture of Chad right here on the left. Chad has listed another GitHub repo where he's keeping all the Cryptomancer specific code, content, and conversations. I'm going to check that out a little later. And here's the description of the project. Invent role-playing game adventures that empower people to champion online safety and inclusion. That sounds awesome. The issue lets me know that if I want to contribute, I can just comment on it. So I'm going to scroll down to the bottom where I can add my comment. And there's a checklist of project stuff that Chad has done and a really cool image. And then here's a space where I can comment. So I'm just going to introduce myself to Chad, let him know what my skills are, and that I'm interested in the project. And this is sort of your first step for participating with a project on the sprint. I'm going to comment on this, and Chad will get back to me, welcoming me to the project and letting me know what I can work on. So that's sort of step one for contribution. So there's my comment. I can see it's been added. And I'm going to scroll back up to the top and go ahead and check out Chad's GitHub repository for his project. So here I am on the Chad's GitHub repo, and you can see it's a different spot. The name of the repo and the file path is always on the top left here. I can scroll down, and this is all the code and content and stuff related to the project, and Chad has a really good, very detailed project description, basically the project README, the file that you should read before you get started, with lots of ideas and information, some guidance about what kinds of skills I need, some tips and background information, He has answered the question if I can get to work before the sprint or not, and I can, and that's awesome. And also he has a lot of information about how to share your work on GitHub. So this is a great project to look at or work on if it's your first time using GitHub. He has great instructions here. So this is good for background information for the project and very useful, but I'm going to head back up to the top and click on the Issues tab. That's where I'm going to find the specific chunks of work that Chad has designated for people to work with on the Global Sprint. And you can see he's tagged them with labels like Moz Sprint and Help Wanted. So this is where, when I'm ready to do some specific work on the project on the sprint, I can come look and choose a bit of work that seems right for me for the time I have and for my skills. So Chad is saying here he needs ideas for adventures for this role-playing game. And so that sounds cool to me. I'm going to look at that. And the first comment, he's outlining the work that needs to be done and inviting people to describe or link to their work by commenting below. And so I'm getting, here I'm seeing that a lot of people have commented with ideas and thoughts. And this is pretty exciting. So when I'm ready to pitch in on this issue, I would go ahead and I would want to be sure I've read all this first before I get started. And I would comment here, and I went and did this earlier, so you can see that I've already commented because I'm excited about this. I told them what I want to do and that I like to write, and I want help with creating adventures, and I'm going to post my ideas here soon. So this is basically how you use GitHub issues. It's a conversation, very much like the conversation that would happen on a blog post or a social media post, but it's about a specific piece of work. Okay, so now you've seen basically how to use GitHub issues to contact a project lead during the sprint, to talk about work, and to communicate around the project. I wanted to say one more thing about your involvement during the sprint. You can be part of the sprint no matter what your skill set is. There's lots and lots of tasks out there that are for complete beginners. You don't need to be a coder to do it. You don't need to be an expert in the subject matter to contribute to a project. I'm going to give you an example right now, a project that I'm really excited about. So let's go ahead and look back at the main GitHub issues list for the sprint, and I'm going to go down and find the project, which is the Embryo Digital Atlas. So this project is an atlas for curious citizens, students, and researchers to visualize complex experimental data sets of embryogenesis. It's a super cool science project. I love science, but I'm not a scientist. I'm not an embryologist, but I am going to check out the GitHub repo and see what issues are there for me to work on. So going to the Issues tab here, and there's 13 issues that Paul has laid out. And Paul is the project lead, and I can see again in the top right that I am in Paul's repo, no longer the Global Sprint repo, but in Paul's repo for this project. I'm going to click on this page loading issue, and it looks like Paul is looking for someone to do make an animation or provide an image when the page loads in the embryology project, and that's actually really cool. It's something I can do. I'm a designer, and so I know how to do some of that stuff. I don't have to be a scientist and contribute to this project, and there's lots of other projects where you can be involved without expertise, without field-specific or discipline-specific expertise. So I'm going to comment here, and I'm going to show you a couple other tricks right now. One thing I can do is if I use the @ sign in a GitHub issue, I can tag somebody to be notified particularly in that issue, and they'll get a little email that they've been tagged. Paul, who's the project lead, will see all of the comments, but if I want to tag anyone else, another contributor, I can do it that way. And let's see. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the colon, and that allows me to add a little emoticon to express how excited I am about working on this project, and so I'm adding that little smiley cat. And I'm going to comment, and Paul will get back to me. And again, during the sprint, project leads will be there all day to answer your questions and talk to you about work, review your work when it's done, and collaborate during the sprint. So commenting for Paul, and that's it. So no matter what your skill set is, you can be part of lots of different projects at the sprint. They all live here in the main repo for the Global Sprint. And just going to go back to the website. Just a moment. And remember, if you haven't yet registered, you can register here on the website under the Register tab. And there's lots of local in-person sites where you can meet up, or you can register as a virtual participant. And if you want to host a site, we have information here. And if you want to bring a project, we have information here for that. So super excited to see you at the sprint. Thanks for watching this video. Happy sprinting, everyone.